Okay, because I do want to make this available. Are you sure you want something? No, cancel. I do want to make this available for those who were not able to attend. So my role, I will continue to work. My previous title was Director of Artists and Partner Services. And so what that meant is that I worked with individual artists as well as our arts partner organizations on the grant making side, in addition to overseeing the gift shop and main gallery space at the Milton Road Center for the Arts. And so my new role as community impact and programs director still includes those things, but it's also a lot of in community engagement and connecting, really connecting artists and community with resources through some new funding we received through the county. And so part of that, what that looks like is community expansion and some programs, but then also professional development opportunities, and then also just revitalizing our sector as an arts and culture sector. So stay tuned. There will be more information coming down the pipeline. Obviously, I'm not sure, most people are probably on the artist directory. If you're not, I will put a link in the chat so that you can stay in a loop on all the things that are happening. And so really excited about that, more to come on that soon. So tonight, we are here to talk about our main gallery, which is located in the Milton Road Center for the Arts, and the opportunity to exhibit in that space for 2023, 2024. So in 2019, I was hired on to manage the main gallery space with the new renovation. And in the last couple of years, we've really focused on working with our arts partner organizations in terms of programming the space. But in the years to come, we really want to focus on how we continue to uplift our individual artists in our community in Winston-Salem, Forsyth County. There may be some folks on the different counties on this call, but that's totally fine. But we really want to prioritize our local artists that are in Forsyth County. And so part of that process was putting out an official call for the exhibition space of the main gallery, and then really having this opportunity to talk to you all about it. And so I just want to give a shout out to Shanice. She really kind of took this project and made it her own, and really brought this idea of having a workshop and speaking with you all about the opportunity. So I do what tonight I'm going to share, just go over the call, and then Shanice is going to share a presentation about some tips in preparing, and then we'll open it up for Q&A, and you can ask all your questions. Sounds good? Let's see. Okay. Hopefully you all can see that. So this is the standard call that is currently on our website. It's at entityarts.org. And if you look on our main page, I believe it's under About Us, and then there's a link that says Artist Opportunities, and you'll see the full proposal call there. In addition to that page, you'll also see, we update that page regularly, so you'll also see other opportunities that may be going on as well. But this is the only current thing that is on there right now. So Arts Council Winston-Salem, Forsyth County, we are the chief advocate for arts and culture and the Winston-Salem, Forsyth County region. We do this by uplifting individual artists, arts organizations, artist collectives, and really highlight arts and culture programming through marketing resources and through grant funding. And so we own and operate Milton Road Center for the Arts, which is where the main gallery is located. And we also own and operate Haynes Brands Theater and they're all located on Spruce Street, 251 North Spruce Street in downtown Winston-Salem. So there'll be some images further down, but of the exhibit space, and it'll tell about some specs and things like that. But we are looking for exhibitions that will run approximately 6 to 8 weeks. So that's about maybe 5 to 7 shows per year. Occasionally we may do a smaller show that may run for a month, especially if it's something special or that we just can't pass up, that it's just a good opportunity for our mission, our programs, and for our community. So with that said, shorter exhibitions would be considered as well. Artists and artist collectives of all levels are encouraged to submit proposals, and there's no fee for submissions. So just a little bit about the proposal details. We're looking for artworks of all medias, and that can include painting, sculpture, printmaking, mixed media, fiber, photography, graphic design, installations, and short films. And so I envision this space to, yes, it's an exhibition space, but I also envision it being a communal experimental space as well. So I think there's great opportunity there. Let's see. Okay, and then for submission guidelines, we're looking for an artist statement, your artistic vision, which should explain your artistic vision. Shanice will touch on that a little bit later. Your artist resume, an exhibition proposal should not exceed 175 words. So in this area, you're basically going to describe, this is the idea that I have. These are some examples that will go along with my idea, and this is what I propose. So I do want to mention the show does not have to be a solo show. It can be a partnership or a collaborative show with several artists. But I do want the concept of the show to kind of formed and together, and then have a clear timeline if works are in progress of when those will be completed. So with your proposal, you'll also send images or work samples of your work, and then you can send, so you'll just send work samples of your work. So the submission deadline for the to submit your proposal for the exhibition space, and we're going to schedule as far out as possible. So we're doing 2023, 2024. If there are other incredible great shows, proposals will continue to put folks out there. And I do want you all to know, like, if you submit the idea of like a solo show, but you don't have as many works, or if I'm looking at your work and I also see like another artist's work that might be like a cool collaborative show, I will, reach out to you all to consider maybe that as an option as well. So the submission deadline is November 13th, 2022. You will submit your proposals to gallery@entityarts.org. How you submit it, you can put this all in a Word document if you like. If you want to do it on the drive and send me a link, that's totally fine as well. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. My phone number and contact information is here. And then, of course, we're having an info session today. So here are some images of the exhibition space. Let's see if I can zoom in a little bit. So here is the main entrance. We do have this really cool design feature here, which we call internally the artist tree, which we don't know if we actually, you know, market it that way, but we do call it the artist tree internally, which has some seating. You'll have access to this main gallery space in addition to resources like pedestals. You know, there's electrical outlets, and then the gallery wall space. And then there's some L-shaped walls. There are 4 of them where you can move them into different configurations in the space. And then below here, we have just the general specs of the space itself. And so this does not take in consideration the bench seating in the trees or the columns. So yeah, consider that as you're thinking about and planning out your exhibit. In addition to off the side here, there's a smaller space called the annex. So I've used that space for programming related to main exhibits, or you can expand it into that space as well. I just want to let you know that is an option for either a solo show or even in addition to the main gallery space. So something to keep in mind. Yes. So everything is spelled out here. It's on our website at entityarts.org. And I don't want you all to stress over this. I don't want you to stress over it, but I do want you to kind of think through your overall vision and clearly kind of define that as you're thinking about your proposal. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions. I am going to pass it over to Shanice. And yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, let me get my presentation up and share my screen. All right, so this is just a presentation that I put together to help artists prepare for an exhibition, whether it's their first time or they've done it before. And I've called it the artist in the exhibition, preparing for an art exhibition. So first we start with inventorying your art. And it's just simply starting with taking photos of your art, just only your art, put it on and hang it on the wall, or you can use a black backdrop and take photos. You can use your phone. They do not have to be professional photos. They just have to be good quality. And I truly believe that smartphones can do that for us. You also want to start with cataloging all of your work. And that could be as simple as you putting all your work in a Word document or using a spreadsheet. And then the next step that I think is also important is creating certificates of authenticity for your work. And that also could be done in a Word document. And you can utilize the same information that you would put, you would use in creating your catalog as well. Here are just 2 images. This one here is just, showing how they have put their artwork on the wall. And it's just a blank, clean wall. And the image is just showing how to capture that photo. You just want to point your camera straight towards your image and make sure only your artwork is in that photo. These are examples of what a certificate of authenticity could look like. Just very simple with your artwork, an image of your artwork, the information, and you can do a digital signature if you like to make it easier so you don't have to sign all of them. And then getting your art ready for display. Of course, you want to think about how many pieces you want to put in the exhibition. And then also ask yourself, are they ready for the exhibition? And what that looks like is, are they ready to be displayed? Does your work need to be framed? Does your work require, like, is it a garment? Does it require a dress form or a mannequin? And pedestals. So I know the space has pedestals. And if if you need something extra, that's something that you need to consider. And then you also want to label your work on the back. You can always put it on a separate sheet of paper and adhere it to the back of your artwork, and include details like your name, the title, the dimensions, medium, and the year, and then the price or not for sale. Here are examples of preparing your framed artwork for hanging, and it has to be on a wire hang for the system. And those are just examples, either using the D-ring for wooden heavy frames or metal steel plates as well. And then there's also an example of how to loop the wire and tie it so it's secure and it supports your artwork. So you can do this all yourself in your home. And there's plenty of YouTube videos that I've seen that also go into doing this as well. And then lastly, we're talking about the artist, which is all of you. Your artist bio, which is about you. This is something that's just very short, your profession, your education, what inspired you to get into art, how you were first introduced. And then we'll also do an artist statement, which is talking about your art, your technique, your influences, and the message that you want to convey with your art. And I recommend keeping both the statement and the bio to one page. And then also, if you have a website or don't have a website, I encourage everyone to try to create an artist website for yourself. And those photos that you are taking to create your catalog can be used on your website. And when you are ready to do an exhibition, you can start a social media campaign by posting your work, regularly, and letting people know that you have an exhibition coming up. I also would recommend creating business cards or using a QR code. And transportation, you can do that's in two ways. That's a drop off or shipping. So drop off artwork, there would be a time frame in which you would drop off your work at the Arts Council. And then shipping, of course, you would just want to make sure you were packing all of your art securely to avoid any damages, and then make sure that you were shipping your work ahead of time to avoid any shipping delays. And if there needs to be special considerations that are made, you can always reach out to Shannon. Last but not least, opening reception. I think it's really important to be comfortable. So, wear a nice outfit, but also make sure that you're comfortable. Practice talking about your work, bring those business cards, and most importantly, enjoy yourself and be proud that you got your work into an exhibition and you're there. And that's it. So thank you.
Thank you, Shanice. Your presentation was very helpful and also triggered some thoughts for me that I would love to share with you all. Just general, what does Arts Council provide when you're exhibiting in our space? So yes, we have the physical walls themselves, the pedestals and supplies and things like that. But if you are selected, you'll see this outlined in our contract. And so typically for our exhibitions, we do a commission on sales, unless you choose not to sell your work. But our commission is usually 70-30 split, 70 going to the artist. In addition, we do not cover any type of shipping damages or things like that, but while your work is on site or in our space, it will be covered under our insurance. So any type of damages or anything like that, we will cover. Let me admit someone here that's coming in. We also include some type of artist reception. There have been a few cases where we did like an artist closing, but typically we would like to do artist openings and then allow for the artists that are on view to mix and mingle, talk with their supporters. Usually during that mode, I'm like in sales mode, hopefully hustling and selling some artwork, which is another fun part of my job that I enjoy. It really just gives great opportunity for community to come together and support one another. And then we do a press release, we do marketing on our website, and then also on social media. And then usually, depending on if there's any type of partnerships and collaboration, we may have some programming that goes on and associated with your exhibition. It does not have to be a requirement. Sometimes it just happens organically, and it just provides some additional, in-depth conversations with community. So sometimes what that looks like is like an artist Q&A outside of the general artist reception. If the artist is interested in doing some type of workshop, we can help coordinate that. But of course, we'll make sure that you receive pay for that. We want to make sure that our artists are paid. We are strong advocates of the Artist Thrive principle, which is raising the value of our artists and community and making sure they're getting paid a fair wage. And so we encourage artists to either be online or have some type of social media. So like Shanice said, even if you just take a few photos and start an account, that's something. And that way, as you're going along, people will be able to find you, find your work, and learn about what you're doing in the community. So at this point, we'll just open it up for questions or any ideas people are thinking about and all the things. Feel free to unmute yourself and talk.
Hi, Shannon.
Hi, Tanya.
So you don't have to have a theme for your artwork, or do you have to have a theme?
I would like for there to be a theme of some sort, like a formulated idea and word samples that go along with it. So yes, I mean, it needs to be beyond the idea stage is what I'm saying. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi, Shannon.
Hi, Kat.
Could you give me a little more information about what you would be looking for the exhibition proposal? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Is that all of the like artist statement, all of those questions, or is that like a separate thing? That's just a little new to me. So.
Sure. So some proposals I received, people gave me like a PowerPoint kind of outlining all those things.
Okay.
You can put it in a Word document of answering those questions and then showcasing, copying and pasting your images in the Word document.
Okay. So it is just all of that information. I was unclear if it was like a separate thing or if that was just all the information put together.
It's all the information put together.
Okay.
Ideally, we will move into a format where everything is in a database system and people can just insert and upload. Yeah.
All right.
But this is what it is for now. So thank you.
Okay.
We're flexible.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? You're gonna say something, Christine? It looks like you want to say something.
Yeah,
Yay!
I was muted. Sorry. So the examples of work, does that have to relate to the project that we are kind of submitting or relate to the idea of the project that we're submitting, or can it be generalized work?
Yes, I think, yes, it could be relating to the work that you're doing. If it's going to be very similar to the idea you want to do, that's totally fine. I do want to have works that have been completed. If you're going to do something you've done before, at least let it be something that has been completed in the last 3 to 4 years. And because I do want to kind of show something. If it's been on view in other places, I do want to show something kind of new and fresh. So it's okay to have some older pieces, but I would love to see some new ideas, new.
And then I just had one other question too. I do kind of have sort of a soft rollout of this project that's hanging at the Enrichment Center right now. But the idea is that I'm using really large vinyls that just stick to the wall that can be reused. So how strict are you about, like, I noticed you have a system for framed work, or like it has to hang?
Yeah, so work has to be ready to hang, but I'm open to vinyls. In the past, we've used on our walls like a canvas tack. So it's similar to a vinyl, but it peels off more clean. Yep. And so, okay. Yeah. So we're totally open to that. I saw your show. It's amazing.
Oh. Okay. Well, that's
yeah.
what it is.
Yeah. I really, really enjoyed that. And it actually kind of hit close to home for me as well. So yeah, thank you for that. When you came, I was like, Christine Rucker, I know that name, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just different. This is definitely a different body of work and very personal. So, but thank you for coming and seeing it.
Did I answer your question fully? All the things, Christine?
You did. Thank you.
Okay. Just making sure.
Okay.
Any other questions?
And do you do the installation?
So we usually ask the artist to install. If you need assistance with that, we can arrange it in advance. But typically we encourage the artist to install, or if they need assistance with that, or they have people or help them install, then that would be great as well. Especially if it's like a specialized piece, going back to something Christine brought up about restrictions. So we've done some pretty cool installations. We're flexible. We just don't allow like super large screws in the wall, but general like nails and things like that. If you're hanging something from our ceiling, it has to be hung from like one of our like it can't be hung from like our sprinkler system. It has to be hung from very high up, and it has to be it has to be of a weight where it can hang from a fishing wire. So like the heaviest fishing wire that's out there, if your installation or whatever art that you're hanging is heavier than that, then it won't be able to go up. Yeah. So for me, I just want to say like this is my background is performing arts. And so when I graduated in arts administration, I kind of ended up in the museum and gallery space. So a lot of this, how I approach exhibitions, is a creative process for myself. So I'm totally open to ideas and experimentation, and troubleshooting and figuring out how to install something and for it to be fun and safe, but yet a great experience for those that come in and see it. So. Any more questions? It's great to see so many familiar names on here and some folks I haven't talked to in like forever. Hope y'all doing well. Okay. Now I did say, you know, we prioritize Winston-Salem, Forsyth County, but if you fall into the Triad region, High Point, Greensboro, please do not hesitate to apply. We're looking to definitely we're expanding and making sure that we are highlighting artists everywhere, but we do focus on Winston-Salem, Forsyth County, but we recognize that artists are more collaborative. I see a message that's come in. Is it just direct? Rowan County. How far is that? Where's that at? I'm sorry. Is this Al? A-L, Ash. Ash, where's that?
I'm in Salisbury.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I think Tanya's out that way too. Yeah.
Yeah, Tanya's here with me. Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So we know like some of like the surrounding counties have like smaller arts councils or maybe not as much support. So we are definitely open to you know, bringing artists in. So. Okay. I'm just scrolling through the chat. I think we got everyone. Well, I'm a phone call away, an email away. Shanice, thank you for your tips. A great job. And yeah, we are here for you at the Arts Council of Winston-Salem and Forsyth County. So if you have any questions or anything, feel free to reach out. And I look forward to seeing proposals come through.
Thank you.
All right, well, thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Bye.
Thanks, Shannon.
You're welcome.